record. So I wanted to bring to you another installment of the neurometaphysical and what it's all about, and the combination of neurology with metaphysical learnings as well. And today I wanted to bring you a little bit about the actual four bodies. So we have four bodies, of which only one of those is tangible, which is our physical body, and I'll talk about that in a moment. The others are what we call subtle bodies, and they correspond to different levels of consciousness within us, and they all hold very unique qualities and functions. And it's important that we have these four bodies in balance because they affect each other. And I'm going to go through them, what they are and how do they affect each other. So understanding the subtle bodies has been a profound learning and understanding in many, many spiritual cultures worldwide. And by understanding what they're all about, gives you greater understanding of yourself first and foremost, and your interconnectedness with the world around you. So first of all, we're going to look at the one right at the bottom, which is the physical body. This is the one that you can actually see because it is your actual physical body. And it serves as a vessel for our consciousness and experiences on the material world. So here on Earth, we're in a physical body. It's the most tangible of all of these four bodies, the most easy to recognize because we can see it, right? It's the way we interact in our external environment, in our world, and engage in activities here on Earth, okay? So the other bodies are the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual, and they're all interconnected and play a major part in our physical experience. These four bodies are all layers, and they coexist alongside the physical body. And the problem is that a lot of people don't know a lot about those other three bodies, and we look at just the physical plane and just the physical body as being the be-all and end-all. But it actually there are the other bodies which actually coexist and play a very vital role in shaping the actual experience and perceptions of the physical body itself. Some examples of this is, and we're going to talk more about each of these bodies, absolutely, but the emotions, so if we look at the emotional body, can have a direct impact on our actual physical body. So emotions such as stress, fear, sadness can manifest into physical symptoms such as headaches, muscle tension, digestive problems. We often talk about the gut-brain health and things like that, and emotions have got a really, really big role to play in things like that. Similarly, positive emotions like joy, happiness can actually enhance your well-being and vitality. So we've got a physical body, but the emotional body and the way we feel in that emotional body will in fact impact our physical body. When we keep going a bit further, we look at the mental body, which is our mindset, our thought patterns. And our mindset and thought patterns can actually shape our behavior and our choices when it comes to overall physical health as well. So if you don't have the right mindset, it not only shapes the experience out there, but it also shapes the way you look after your body. Negative thought patterns and limiting beliefs can also contribute to stress and anxiety and unhealthy habits. And that impacts the physical body's functioning and well-being. Cultivating positive mental habits and mental patterns, such as things like affirmations, positive self-talk, can actually promote and heal the physical function of the body itself. Nurturing our spiritual growth and connection, and as I said, I'm going to go through each of these in greater detail, but nurturing our spiritual growth and connection to our higher self can bring a sense of purpose and meaning. So spirituality is also very important, and nurturing the spiritual body is very important, because a lot of us will sit here and say, what am I here for? What's my purpose? And we tend to go looking for purpose and meaning in our life. And growing the balance in that spiritual body will actually allow you to have better physical experiences, creating better emotional experiences, better mental experiences, and thus, or at the end, creating a more healthy, balanced physical body. The emotional body encompasses all our feelings, all our emotions, energetic responses that are generated within us, directly linked to the physical body through the release of neurotransmitters, which are chemicals and hormones in our body that influence our actual bodily functions and sensations. So as I said, these are all interrelated. So when I go through them, you're going to see different aspects of how each body affects the others. So our emotions create chemicals in our body. Those chemicals are called neurotransmitters. They move all through our body. And also we have hormones in the bodies, and the emotions can actually stabilize or destabilize your hormones as well. And that will influence your physical body's functionality and sensations that you feel in your physical bodies. So it's really important to understand that these are not all single, but all intermingled together. The emotional body also interacts with the mental body, because our thoughts, beliefs, and perceptions can actually shape our emotional experiences. So the labels that we put on our experiences that happen both internally and externally will actually cause, again, some sort of emotional release of neurotransmitters in their body, and the way that you actually respond to those external things. So the way your mental body will affect your emotional body as well. The emotional body is also closely intermingled with the spiritual body, as our emotions can positively or negatively impact our spiritual growth and connection. I'm going to talk about what spirituality is for me in a moment, and it's not necessarily religious. So our emotions have a massive impact on the other three bodies. So one of the ways that you can actually nurture your emotional body is to develop emotional awareness and cultivate emotional intelligence, which is really, really important. Becoming aware of your triggers, of your emotions, becoming aware of what happens to you when certain things happen around your environment can actually allow you to begin to be more in charge and take more charge of what's happening around you. Of course, there are lots of tools and techniques that we can use to help with that as well. We then have the mental body. And the mental body is all about our thoughts, our beliefs, our perceptions, and all our cognitive processes that we do. So all our thinking and awareness. It's again directly linked to the physical body through the brain and the nervous system. So our thoughts can actually trigger certain neurotransmitters in the body as well. So our thoughts can trigger an emotional response. So that can in turn affect the physical body as we see it. So it's really important that you see the connection, that it's not just one or the other, it's all of them together. In relation to the spiritual body, the mental body plays a significant role in our spiritual growth and development. The thoughts and beliefs that we hold about spirituality, as well as our understanding cognitively of what we believe to be our higher truths, our connection to something greater, are shaped by the mental body. So, as I said, spiritual doesn't necessarily have to be religious. It's what you believe in, something higher than you. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. Engaging in spiritual practices such as meditation or prayer can actually impact the mental body by promoting clarity, peace, and expanded awareness. In fact, meditation has been known to be the best way to actually dampen what we call your default mode network. And your default mode network is what you automatically do when something happens. It's sort of all your routines, but basically, you know, if you have certain reactions to certain triggers, meditation can help dampen those and actually bring you more peace and clarity. And the thing is that it's not just during the meditation, it actually goes on for ages and ages. That's why so many people love to do meditation and find that if they do it as part of their morning routine, they have better days, because it helps to stop you going to that default mode network of yours, which might be a spiral downward. Prayer, chanting, all those sorts of things are all meditative type practices anyway. So it depends what your theory around prayer is or what you believe prayer to be. But if we look at the old-fashioned prayers that are said in religion, they also work in the same way. Our thoughts and beliefs, of course, as I said before, influence our emotional experiences, shaping how we feel and respond to different situations. So negative thought patterns often occur around, you know, feelings of anxiety, fear of sadness, and some other ones as well, whereas positive thoughts tend to foster, you know, gratitude and contentment and make you feel a lot happier and a lot more at peace. Thoughts and beliefs can have a very powerful impact on your physical body as well, because it manifests in physical responses, behaviors, and overall health. As I said before, stress induced by, you know, negative thoughts can actually increase your heart rate, elevate your blood pressure, weaken your immune system. So you can see that, you know, you might think your thoughts are not going to be impacting other areas of your life, but they absolutely are, and especially the physical body. Engaging on more positive thinking and cultivating more empowering beliefs and habits can promote more physical health and general well-being. So using some of the techniques, mindfulness techniques, is a really amazing way of actually allowing yourself to be have a much clearer, more peaceful type, positive type of mindset. To nurture your mental body, it's crucial to develop your self-awareness and self-awareness to what triggers you, to what sort of things make you spiral with your thoughts, and when you become aware of them, then you can actually break that habit, because awareness is everything. Once you're aware of something, you know you can break it. And also, it's important to cultivate some positive thought patterns. Affirmations are really good. Things like journaling is absolutely amazing. Like I said before, mindfulness is great, and self-reflection is really good. So engaging also in activities to stimulate the mind, such as reading, crossword puzzles, learning, stimulating conversation is really, really good for your mental well-being. And of course, if you can support your mental well-being, then you support your emotional well-being, your physical well-being as well. Now, the spiritual body, often referred to as the soul or the higher self. The spiritual body encompasses, for me, our connection to something greater than ourselves. Whether it's a higher power for you, whether it's the universal principles, whether it's collective consciousness, it doesn't matter. Whatever works for you, works for you. For me, it's all about your purpose and potentiality on this earth. And for me, spirituality is anything that brings you peace, calmness, and tranquility in any way that you find that. So, for instance, if you find that through meditation, that's great. If you find that through prayer, that's great. If you believe in a religion and that brings you peace, calm, and tranquility, that's great. If you don't believe in a religion and that brings you peace, calm, and tranquility, that's also fine. So to me, the spiritual body is anything that encompasses peace, that brings you tranquility in your life. Our spiritual experiences and insights can influence our mental processes. So this is really important to understand. By cultivating mindfulness, meditation, spiritual practices, whatever works for you, yoga, all of those sorts of things, Tai Chi, we can actually strengthen the bond between that spiritual body, which is all about peace, calm, and tranquility, and our thoughts, which is the mental body. This leads to greater clarity for yourself and greater inner knowing. So it's not so much what you believe in, but the fact that it is peace, whatever brings you peace, and you connect that then to your thoughts, and this inner knowing will actually allow for your mental body to be a lot calmer as well. Our emotions can be a gateway to our spiritual experiences. If you watched yesterday's live, you'll understand how this is all connecting together and deepen our connections. Emotions such as love, joy, compassion often accompany things like spiritual awakening and spiritual practices. You're more likely to, if you're feeling really good about yourself mentally, to actually be involved in more spiritual practices of enlightenment, because it brings you more peace and joy. Emotional well-being can directly impact our spiritual state as well. By healing your emotional wounds and cultivating more positive emotions, practicing things like self-compassion, self-love, self-care, forgiveness, we create a more fertile ground for spiritual growth and transformation. Remember, spiritual growth, spiritual body is all about peace. So letting go of all your old wounds, cultivating self-compassion, self-care for yourself, and having a, forgiveness in your life and understanding around what other people have done actually brings you more peace and thus allows for more spiritual growth. Engaging in practices that nourish your physical body as well, such as yoga, mindful movement, conscious eating, organic eating, healthy eating, actually brings more well-being and more health and vitality in the body. And respecting your spiritual nature, in other words, what brings you peace, what makes you feel tranquil, what makes you feel calm, things like saying no or doing things that, not doing things you don't want to do, and giving yourself those physical environmental choices will actually promote your spiritual values as well, and will actually promote your overall well-being and vitality of the physical body. So it's really important that you understand that each one of these four bodies works very much with the other one, and they all influence each other, and being able to work through each of these bodies and being at balance with each of them will actually allow you to have a more fulfilled life, a more dedicated life to what brings you happiness. And that will give you a deeper sense of purpose, fulfillment, and alignment. So remember, it's not just about one, it's about the whole four. So you need to look after yourself physically to allow a fostering of much better emotional, mental, and spiritual body. You need to make sure and look after your emotions. And that doesn't mean that you don't feel emotions. It means that you understand your emotions and they are absolutely fine, but it's the understanding, and you don't allow them to spiral, and you are more in charge of them rather than them being in charge of you will help the other three bodies. Being aware of your thoughts, your beliefs, things that go on that can hinder or promote better health in your body, better emotional well-being is really important. So working on those positive thoughts, and then of course working on whatever brings you peace and harmony, and working on getting a balance throughout these whole four will allow you to actually be completely in alignment with your life. I hope that made sense today, guys. For those who didn't watch yesterday's live, go back and have a look at that, because the actual three minds correspond with the four bodies. I will bring something together tomorrow about that and show you how they overlap one over the other. So they're not separate. Nothing is separate. We need to start looking at everything that we do as a whole, and it's all integrated and it's all united together, and it's all about looking at each aspect, not just one. We tend to focus on the one that works best for us, but there are people that focus on just one element, but that doesn't work. It's all about neurology being the mental, of course, with the more metaphysical being more the spiritual. They all work together in unison. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll be back with another installment of Neurometaphysical tomorrow. Thanks, guys.